What's going on, guys? It's Jordan back today with today's second video. And in today's second video, we're going to take about another altcoin that we haven't talked about before, and that is Vechain. We're going to look at exactly what is going on all the time frame charts and what I think the end of the bull market prediction could be based on just our short-term and long-term Fibonacci targets. So if that's going to do you guys are new to the channel and are enjoying today's content, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Appreciate all you guys that take your time out of your day to do that for me. Now let's jump right onto the daily chart here. And guys, look what we're forming, right? We could just be in a giant rising wedge, which we know is typically a bearish pattern. But in this bull market, as we talked about in our last Cardano video that I just uploaded before this one, these can actually break out to the upside, and they don't actually have to break out to the downside. Actually, in a bull market, they tend to break up to the upside. But you can see what we're doing here. And I first just want to shout out showing you guys that this is just a big support and resistance flip, right? We have our old resistance all throughout this area at this green line. And we literally just came back down and flipped it as support and are now continuing up. So I first wanted to show you guys how that is the first bullish shine, flipping old resistance into new support. Now I'm going to get rid of this green line so we can see this wedge a little better going forward on this video. But you can see also we have our 50-day moving average, which is kind of just riding up the bottom of this wedge. Yes, we've got a big fake out to the downside here, but we got back above it and confirmed it as support right there. You can see our 50-day moving average all the way through up here has really kept us pretty much as support on our downside action on Vechain all the way through up here. So this is looking like it wants to break up to the upside here. And what it's doing right now, it looks like it's just looking to come back test this previous resistance here, guys, as support, probably relatively down in around that area, okay? Now, the only thing that's slightly worrying me here in this big rising wedge is at the top here, we might have some bearish divergence where we've got lower highs on the RSI. You can see right here, guys, lower highs on the RSI and higher highs in price action. So typically that is a short-term bearish indicator, especially on the daily time frame. You know, when it comes to the 4-hour, the hourly, it's a little iffy, but on the daily, that could push us back down short-term, maybe down to this bottom of the wedge. But would that crazy? Would that be crazy? Absolutely not. I think what also we could be forming, guys, if we zoom in here, right, at our daily chart, if we actually come back down to levels somewhere around this area right here, about 4.9 cents, you could see what we could be doing is just forming a possible inverse head and shoulders if we round out here, guys. You can see we have our left shoulder, we have our head. So if we actually do come down, we don't have to necessarily come back all the way down to this red line, but we could come back down somewhere in this area and actually form that inverse head and shoulders here, which would move us back up to the upside. Now, if that did happen, I'll show you guys what our short-term target would be if we did break out of this. And this, you guys know, that would also break us out of our rising wedge, which would push us to insane levels going forward. And this is a huge rising wedge, right? We have our breakout target. If we did break out somewhere around this area, let's just say around there, would give us a breakout target of approximately about 9.2 cents if this did play out. Now, this is just pure speculation right now, but usually when you have that left shoulder and that head, you usually do end up forming that right shoulder. Now, we need to break this neckline in order to confirm it, right? This yellow line here, but if that does confirm, that is our breakout target somewhere up towards, 9.2, 9.3 cents approximately, give or take a few dollars. Now, that's the daily chart, guys. I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to check into the 4-hour chart. Now, what's going on this chart? Well, you can see all the way on our way up on our recent moves for Vechain, we've just been forming a bunch of bull flags that end up breaking to the upside. You can see this one, right? Our first one here, extrapolated at our breakout point. We obviously didn't shoot all the way up to that breakout point, but we generally did get pretty close. And you can see this one right here, guys. This one, right, from our top to our bottom of our flagpole, extrapolated at our breakout point, hit literally perfectly to the wick up here. So, are we forming another bull flag? Well, it looks like we are right now. We're just kind of hitting our head against this top support and top resistance And our measure move out of this one would be from our top to our bull flag to our bottom would put us approximately, if we break out somewhere around there, let's say, would give us approximate price target of about 7.6 cents. So that's where we're looking at for the short term, guys. We also have on the short term, we have the opposite of the bearish divergence. We have some bullish divergence going on, right? Where we're making kind of lower lows on the RSI, but we're making higher lows in our general price action. So, will that eventually push up to the upside? I do think it will, especially as you see these kind of bull flags. Obviously, these are a bunch of different angles, but they always move up to the upside, it looks like, as Vechain continues up. But you guys know we're at a big resistance at this rising wedge. So we'll wait and see if that eventually does push us up out of this rising wedge. Now, what is our price targets going forward? Well, let's switch to the weekly chart, and this is our Fibonacci retracement targets or extension targets from our bottom down up our top, right, back in September of 2018, all the way down to our bottom down in March 2020. You can see where our last impulse went up to. Well, really our last two impulses, right? So after breaking our all-time high, right, we pumped right to our 1.618 Fibonacci, as you can see right on the left here, right, our 1.86 Fibonacci, right to it, right? That was our first initial pump. And then we pulled back to our 10-week moving average, which has been big support on our last three dumps, right? Once there, and once there. And then we got a next impulse right to that. Really, we pumped straight past our 2.618, but right pretty much to our 3.618, right where we're pretty much at right now. That's where our last wick went to. So really all we have on the long term to look at is about 7.7 cents for Vechain on our long-term extension target. So that's really our next move that we're waiting for Vechain on the long term, guys. We don't have much else to look at on the long term. So really what we have to do now is we have to flip to our daily extension targets, right? From our last dip, right? Our right here to the bottom, right? To the top to the bottom here. Puts out these as our next targets. And you can see our top target here at our 4236 is about 13.5 cents for Vechain, right? Obviously, we have our 1.618, which is approximately at 7.4 cents, which matches up very, very well with actually this extension target of our bull flag. So that makes a lot of sense if we did break up to that level next. And then we have a 9.6 cents, and then we have 12 cents, and then we have 13.5 cents. But ultimately, I do think this 13.5 cents level will be hit sometime in the near future. And I do expect higher price levels to be coming for Vechain. Now, where do I expect us to actually get to? Well, that's a good question. Well, if we take our relative where, I do think that, Bitcoin has at least another 3-4x in it, and I do think Ethereum has at least other 5 to 8x in it. So let's take it somewhere around the middle. Let's say Vechain goes up another 5 to 6x from where it is right now. So let's just do a hypothetical that is what is going to happen next. Well, let's take a look at our where we are right now. Let's go up about 5x, would put us approximately target around 37 cents. I think that is a relative good target here. It's just tough to look at because we literally broke all of our long-term Fibonacci's already for Vechain. Vechain has absolutely exploded from its bottom to its top here, guys. Absolutely craziness. Already up 34x in this bull market already. I think it has, at least another 5x in it, in my opinion, going forward. And I'm excited to now be part of Vechain, buying on this last dip here. So appreciate you guys watching. If you guys are big Vechain, fans, I'm going to be coming out with tons of new Vechain videos coming up within the next couple weeks. So make sure you guys press the subscribe button down below if you guys enjoyed today's content. Also, guys, if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, go check out my Twitter. Links in the description. Let's try to hit 700 followers in this week. All right, this week, that's the goal. I just came up with it literally right now, so now just ignore me there. But also, guys, I will be streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you guys don't miss the stream tonight. And I'll see you guys in the stream. Peace.